Surely he's been on the Brady list since the allegations came about, just like others that we get that have allegations against. And so now obviously he remains on that list, and now we have an indictment. And so I think we had very few cases maybe with him at this point, but he surely is on that list. And with the indictment today for second-degree kidnapping, malfeasance in office, serious charges, serious allegations, and just really want to commend the survivor in this case. This is a young lady who endured a lot at the hands of officials and came forward. It's taken some time for us to get here. It's a long road, but she's been a survivor. She's credible. We support her. The Baton Rouge Police Department did an outstanding job investigating this and providing us the information to get here today. Obviously, he's presumed innocent like anyone else, and we take that presumption seriously. We take our job seriously, and this is the case that we will proceed forward and seek justice like we would in any other case.
We know malfeasance is a felony, but is the second-degree kidnapping a felony in this situation as well?
Both are felony offenses. There was also the possibility of a sexual battery, but it was a misdemeanor sexual battery. So malfeasance is a felony, carries 0 to 5 years. And then second-degree kidnapping is a much more serious offense, carries 5 to 40 years, and 2 of those years have to be without benefit, probation, parole, suspension of sentence. So, yeah, extremely serious case.
If convicted, how much time is he facing?
Well, 5 to 40 years by statute for second-degree kidnapping, and then 0 to 5 for malfeasance, and at least a minimum of 2 years.
Do you think this guy has any job being employed by Baton Rouge Police still?
Absolutely. I have no doubt that the chief, now knowing that the grand jury's returned what they return, will take action based on this grand jury return. I have no doubt whatsoever.
Listen, we appreciate the District Attorney's Office today for believing in our client, believing in this strong and incredible young woman. It is a jarring thing to relive what she did over and over again. But today, I believe that this was a great sign of things to come, that the grand jury of this great parish saw what we saw, saw a victim.
What message does this send the taxpayers that he's still employed and has been on the payroll for the last year?
I think at this point, the ball's back in their court. A lot of we're waiting on to see what the District Attorney's Office was going to do. And today, the District Attorney's Office has spoken. They sought some very serious charges on behalf of Officer Steele. The grand jury believed that there was probable cause for those charges. And at this point, I think responsibly, we need to demand for his resignation or his termination.
Have you spoken to her, and how's she feeling?
Relieved. I did speak with her. I walked up with her this morning before she went and testified. While I was in court, we shared a text message. I told her I was very proud of her. She thanked me for believing in her and wants to thank the grand jurors for believing in her too.
What has this done to her?
I mean, this is going to affect her forever. This is going to affect how she views relationships going forward. She is still in counseling. She's been in counseling consistently since this has happened. She has switched counselors, just trying to get that comfort. Just trying to create a new normal for herself, but it's never going to be exactly the same. This sends a message, though, for women out there that you can speak up and people will believe you.
Can you run through again? I know not to belabor the point, you had told us everything that he had done a year ago, but again, what did he do that led to the kidnapping charge and obviously malfeasance charge because he was on the clock?
Well, listen, as it relates to the kidnapping charge, the way I see it is this. He used his influence as a police officer and threatened her and said, listen, if you don't follow me, XYZ is going to happen. And the XYZ, of course, is she would have been arrested. So based on that, I think that's how you get the kidnapping charge. The malfeasance, look, you're doing all this stuff while you're on the clock. That is, you're supposed to be protecting and serving, not serving your own personal interests, which I believe at that night he was trying to do.
Do you think this is the first time he did that?
We have been contacted by people since to say that there's been other, questionable behavior, but nobody's come out publicly and said this person, he did this to me on this particular day.
What's next?
Next he'll be arraigned. At some point, a notice of arraignment will go out to to him and his attorney. He will answer the charges in court. I'm assuming he's going to plead not guilty to the charges, and the criminal process goes forward. As it relates to our civil litigation, I have to contact the city attorney's office to see how we're going to navigate this. Typically speaking, there are stays that are put into place while a criminal investigation is going on. They do not allow us to subsequently go forward without civil investigation. However, I will reach out to the parish attorney's office to see if we can at least initiate some sort of discovery going forward to the state, so her case just isn't stalemated while Mr. Steele goes through the criminal process.
Does this add validity to your civil claim, considering the fact that your civil suit was filed before the criminal charges?
Oh, I think it absolutely does. I think this, we could double down on that. Listen, we believed her from day one. From day one, from the moment we saw her social media post and we had a chance to sit down with her and her family, we believed her. Today is a validation for this young lady. Today is a validation for all women, I think, who have been faced with a situation like this, who have decided to be silent because they were afraid that they weren't going to be heard, or if they were heard, nobody will listen and take action. Today, action was taken. I think as it relates to our civil case, I think it definitely strengthens our civil case. Chris and everyone, you guys know, we take on a lot of civil rights cases throughout the state, and oftentimes we don't even get an arrest, even though we're able to be successful in civil court. In this particular case, not only do we get an arrest, but we have an indictment. And again, we want to thank the district attorney's office for believing in our client, for bringing what we believe was a strong case to the grand jury. And we'd like to thank the grand jurors for the main thing, believing in this incredibly strong young lady.
Does the protective order remain in place now that he's been formally charged?
Yes, I believe that does. Now that's formal charge, it would be a violation of bond if he were to contact her. I did not see anything in the record that his attorney filed for a 701, any type of bond relief, so that would stay in place.
And just to clarify, he's already been charged with these charges, but the grand jury made it formal today.
Yes, so he was arrested for the charges, but now the grand jury has decided that formal prosecution by the hands of the East Baton Rouge Parish District Attorney's Office will go forward.
Thank you.
No problem.
Anything else you want to say? You didn't get to say.
I'm so glad for her. Good for her. That if I had to leave with one message, because look, it takes a lot to be in the public with something like this, and although she has not come out publicly and spoken anything as her rights, other than a social media post, but this is something that's been weighing on her and her family. So the last message I want to say, good for her. Good for her.
Thank you, Ron.
No, thank you.